Hello.
Hello, Susan. It's Rupert.
Rupert, hi. I've been meaning to get in touch with you. How are you?
Well, thanks. And I see your office, your garden office is built now.
Yeah, it's built. We put preservative on it. I just sent the guy that's doing the insulation work a message asking him if it's going to be tomorrow or Thursday, because it was scheduled for either tomorrow or Thursday to put the insulation in. Are you here or?
No, I'm in my office, but I'm thinking of dropping by and seeing your consumer unit. Is it going from the consumer unit in the garage?
I don't know whether the garage has a consumer unit.
Okay.
Let me see charge unit with 2 breakers.
Yeah. Okay, well, we'll have a look at that and see how much current you can get out of that. And your other one is where, in the kitchen?
And it's got a circuit breaker. Yeah.
Is your other one in the kitchen?
Oh, yeah, the other one. I've got another call coming in. Could you hold on a second?
Yeah.
Hi, Rupert.
Oh, hello. Hello.
I am so very sorry. No, I've been trying to work out paying some tax to HMRC, and it's just, they keep saying no.
Oh.
It's been incredible.
I don't know what to do about tax this year. It's been a bad year, and you owe tax from the year before, don't you? And anyway, so
well, there's ways to figure all that out.
Yeah, I haven't got down to it yet. So you're going out for a couple of hours. Shall I pop round after you've been for a walk with your dog?
Yeah, if you pop around sometime, I don't know, what time is it now, 11:30? Sometime after 1:30?
Yeah, okay then.
Yeah, between 1 and 1:30, that would be great, Ruth.
And then I'll scout it out. That's great.
That would be super. Okay, and by then, hopefully, I probably won't know till this evening, but I'll know when the insulation work is going to be done. But you'll be able to see, it's not, we're looking at inches here with the insulation.
Yeah.
It's not going to be a huge thing. So anyway, I'd like to talk to you about lighting too and stuff like that. So anyway, we'll speak to you soon, Rupert.
Okay then, Sarah. I'll see you later.
All right, bye for now.
Bye. Oh, hello, Susan.
Hi.
I saw that your gate was open, but not till I parked already. So, customers for bookkeeping.
Well, I don't know.
Yeah.
If we could try to, because I'm going to be varnishing the floor, so if we could try to keep up.
Yeah, not get on. This ain't gonna work anyway, this thing. So, what kind of lights are you gonna have?
I don't know. I want something nice.
Yeah. Dimmable?
LEDs.
Yeah, there will be LEDs. Everything's LED now. But dimmable or not?
Dim would be nice.
Dim, and then so like background lighting, and then where your desk is.
Exactly, which is going to be here.
Yeah.
You'll see. He's coming tomorrow to do the installation, which I presume is just going to be.
Yes, up to there. And then what's he going to line it with?
I hope wood.
Wood.
Yeah.
Okay.
Finish it off with wood.
You're not plastering it anyway.
But there's going to be 20 inches. This is about here. There's a 20. This is all new.
It should be what you want.
You can go in.
I just don't want to. I don't know whether. No, I better not. I better not. Because I've got wet leaves on. I want to do what you want.
Okay.
So
Shelf, computer, monitor, computer, and lighting.
what about a couple of sockets under and a couple of sockets over?
That's a good idea.
Okay, that's a compromise.
Yeah, that's fine.
And,
we'll under one of, now we're going to be running a dehumidifier in here,
Yeah.
which we can plug in under the desk.
Yeah. So I would.
To keep it simple, probably all of the wiring and the garage unit and everything should be over here.
Okay. All right. So you don't want the consumer unit on the outside of the building.
No, you can have it on the inside.
Have it on the inside.
It's going to be under the shelf anyway.
All right.
So it should be okay. That should be a problem.
Okay.
I was wondering, actually, this is a real.
How are you anyway? How's the summer?
How are you?
How's the summer?
We ended I was still there until the end of August.
Of course, you were still working
and
there,
then
weren't you?
Okay.
Yeah.
So then we went away on holiday in September.
Where to?
Dartmouth.
That's what I would have put in. You didn't need 4, but just if you're burying a...
Let's move that here so you can get in there properly.
That's all right. I've done what I need. Okay. So you've got 4 mil. So that's the first problem sorted. The second problem though is how we get a. I wonder if you're protected, RCD protected at the other end in the house.
Yeah, this is what I'm using now.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. I see. So that just plugs in.
Yeah.
Right. But he's talking about the armoured cable, which is all fine. There's an earth sheathing visible, blah, blah, blah. You can use the metal network switch in the summer house. The metal network switch. What's that? The metal network switch in the summer house. I'll have to phone him and ask him what he's talking about here. Surface, or I could possibly try fishing when he's done the lining. Try fishing behind it.
Well, it's going to have rigid foam.
Rigid foam.
Yeah, so you won't really.
No.
So I think just sort of discreet exterior trunking.
Trunking.
Yeah.
The mini trunking.
Mini trunking.
The dastardly mini trunking.
Yeah.
I don't like the look of that at all. No.
Don't leave it to you, really.
No, don't leave it to me because you've got to be happy with it at the end.
I'll be happy with it. I'll be happy with it.
I personally, I like to go for conduit or hidden.
Yeah.
Mini trunking is not a very permanent solution. It's a bit tacky, I think.
Yeah.
Mini trunking.
Yeah.
It sticks onto the wall with a sort of sticky back.
Well, I was thinking it was something a little bit permanent.
What about conduit then? Not so keen on conduit. She wouldn't like conduit. So I think then we need to get it into the wall before he goes on with the insulation, so we can hide it.
Yeah.
What do you think?
Coming tomorrow to insulate.
He's coming tomorrow. Okay. Well, we could possibly work together on it.
Possibly. If you've got the time.
It's just getting all the materials and everything on site, which we've got the rest of today for. But it might be... I don't like the idea of starting a new build and planning to do it with mini trunking. That just, to me, is
Yeah.
I mean,
you know, they're all full size square trunking. Yeah.
oh, were you talking about the dado rail stuff?
Yeah, that's
Oh, that's what you're meaning. We're taking the dog with us today. Unfortunately, today's the day that the insulation guy turns up as well, expecting to just be able to hammer in a load of probably polystyrene into the air gaps between, and then lining the shed out. That creates a problem for me in that I want to get my cables in before him, so I'm going to turn up at 9, he's going to turn up at 10, and there's obviously going to be some crossover, so I may not get any footage, but I hope he's amenable to what's going to happen, because it's going to be a lot more complicated than he was led to believe. Everything was going to be surface mounted before, and it's not going that way now. Anyway, to see what transpires. Little dog. Boots is playing with Alfie. Took a bit of getting used to him. Alfie's got his monkey with him. Got your monkey, Alfie? You got your monkey? Have you got your monkey? There are all these videos, aren't there, of people fitting out buildings like this, and I won't sort of repeat the whole process. Here's this and here's that, but there is quite a lot going in here. We've got 6 downlights, 3 spotlights, and separate. So it's on the same circuit with separate switch. and then some pendants with some fancy big LED vintage bulb things, and an outside light here. We've got a 3-gang dimmer to work it all, and then we've got about 8 sockets going in, and they're not so easy because just when the Celotex goes in, they're going to make holes in the Celotex and pull the cables through where I mark, but the cables can't be clipped to the ceiling, unfortunately, because the nails for the clips are too long and go right through the OSB. I'm just going to show you the first fix. So above our heads we've got 6 downlights. They're not symmetrical because in the far corner there I'm going to have 2 pendants with vintage bulbs on by those doors, windows. Socket outside, socket inside, out. That's one radial. The other radial is socket, 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 2 sockets and another socket here. These 2 are going to be spotlights, and there's another spotlight in this corner, and here are the downlights. Also, these pendants, they turn on with an outside light, which is through there on the veranda. I've got a click waterproof socket here. It seems quite solid. It's got a big rubber back to it. But I'm going to have to come in from underneath with the supply cable, because the supply cable's there. So yeah, I'll be coming in through some compression glands. See how this goes. I've mounted the switch, click, whatever you call it, the click Skolmore sockets, and yeah, that's got a very nice clip on it as well, which isn't too tight, unlike the BG, which is too tight and always feels like you're going to break it off, and the MK, which are troublesome as well. And I've got here the consumer unit, which is plastic but will be outside and inside this containment. So I've got 2 holes in the containment, if I call this the containment, one for the armour cable to go up, and one for the TT earth to come out of. And we've got 2 holes in the bottom of the actual consumer unit, one for the earth to come out of, and the 4mm feeds from the armoured cable once they're inside the containment, and the other one is for all the final circuits, and the final circuits will go out through this hole and through here and come out of the back there, which will be over the hole. Well, you'll see it's going to be over the hole that goes through the back of the shed. So they just come out and go straight through into the shed without seeing any cables. And the dog, there he is. He's in his bed. Good boy. Good boy. I've got most of the... You're looking about an hour later. I've got most of the consumer unit started. Can you see that? So there we are. this is the two radials. They come together and just branch from one, so one spurred off the other. I have enclosed it, even though this is an enclosure itself, which requires a tool for access. The fact that electrically unskilled people will be getting access to this cupboard in order to operate the protective devices if they trip means that I actually took the decision. I have on previous occasions, I've had armoured coming in from the garden, and then from here all the way through just basic insulation, and I was a bit unsure about whether that's okay with that closed. But on this occasion I've left the sheathing on. Andrew, Yo, what do you reckon, Mr. Yo? Reluctance to cut the ends of the final circuits and make them too short. One of the good things about doing this with the extra containment enclosure is obviously I don't have to terminate the armour on this really flimsy plastic here, which it just isn't suitable to terminate armour onto that. This is much stiffer and thicker, and the armour can terminate onto that, and the steel wire armour, although it's going to go into a proper armoured termination, the earth won't be taken from that onto here, so it allows separation of the earth as well. And then the earth bar will be earthed through one of these holes and out through a compression gland here and into a earth rod or earth spike in there. One of the things about these videos is, of course, the comments that you get. Are you playing to your audience and always looking for oh look, here we've got the doggy, brought something to show me. Yes, you brought me to show, haven't you? And you brought me to show. Oh, excited, isn't he? It's exciting. Here's the other dog. Oh. Oh. Still looking for the pussycat? You know there's a pussycat, don't you? Yeah, so I'm making these videos so that there is somebody else out there commenting and making value judgments on the standard of work, and generally if you do a low standard of work, you know, because you've cut corners, things have occurred to you, and I won't do that. But then sometimes things don't occur to you and they do occur in the comments. So yeah, it's a pretty extensive installation, this, for a little shed, but like I said to the client, it's got to be nice to be in there. You've got to want to go out and spend time in there if you're going to work in there. The client has just handed over the reins, as it were, of Navigator's mercantile works from Chichester Harbour, where you've seen me working at the marina. She used to be in charge, and she sold the business as a going concern to a gentleman who's taken it over. Used to do boiler repairs, I think, so he's pretty handy himself. So yeah, there's the beginnings of my consumer unit. I think that's about it for today for First Fix. I'll pop along tomorrow and just check that they are happy with where everything goes for them to do the lining. Need to get another light for the outside. I'm not sure quite how to deal with that, because we've got it switched from inside, and ideally it should come on with a PIR, but it was an afterthought, so it comes on with some of the inside lights. So Kelly, Andrew, Mark, there's a couple of electrical businesses who do comments on down in the comments, and I can't remember. Electrical, is it? Thornton's Electrical, I've had comments from. It's all a bit of a mystery really to me, this YouTube. I do really like the way that Delroy the Spark comes over in his videos. He's always got a little laugh for the most critical situations, and my God, I watched his last one up last night where he just had multiple faults on a ring, and he was chasing in and putting a link in with mini trunking as well, and just absolute nightmare. But he and underneath the floor he was as well, horrible. Putting a boiler suit on and face mask, and he was under the floor in a little crawl space under the floor. It is nice to see other people working, but it's not nice in that you think that could be me. That job could be mine. I could end up turning up to a job, and that could be. I'd just like to be able to walk away from, you know, some jobs, really, but I haven't been able to do it enough, and so I think his name was Joe. You live in Bognor Regis, I think, and I met you in Littlehampton. You work for British Gas. I met you last week, but you said, Joe said to me, it was in the high street outside the cafe where I just bought a coffee, and he said, oh Rupert, he does get some shit jobs. Well, recently I have, and it's not just the ones that I've showed, because I've showed some, but there's more that I haven't showed. Anyway, that's enough chatting for now, and I'm just going to get cleared up, and I think we'll call that a day, and we'll get down to some kind of a quote so she can see how much she's spending, and leave it all clear for the lining tomorrow to go in.
Yes, and exactly that. And I just felt like I had a duty of care, as I would to anybody.
And what was the
travelling,
outcome? What was the outcome?
Well, unfortunately, the judge has ruled that they didn't feel like anything was misinterpreted by.
Yeah, vans. I've got an old van. It's now 10 years old. What do I think about vans? I'd like to pay £200 a month and have a brand new one, but it's that extra overhead, and I can't absorb it sometimes. Most of the time it would be alright, but I already have a loan out, and so just to keep my outgoings down today, very pleased about. I thought with the burglary I'd lost my other impact driver, and I've just unearthed it in my van vault. So it's up here. This is my original one, my first one, and actually I was quite sad that I lost it. Not that I use it that much. I don't tend to have two on the go, but when I realised, I thought, well, I should have had two on the go really. So yeah, jobs with two of them on the go would be quite more efficient. So I will start using two of them. And another thing that's quite annoyed me is in my holes and circles, virtually every bit I got out of my holes and circles has been blunt, really blunt. And then to cap it all, the ones that I did use that weren't blunt, I went and blunted on nails or screws in the job. So now that's completely blunt. I picked out a 10mm drill that was utterly blunt. So these D bits, I don't tend to use them that much, and I've lost the auger which I had bought, a nice auger. So I couldn't find that, and I spent about 7 or 8 minutes looking for it. So that's annoying. Holes and circles, they're all bits, and these are pretty well shot. They're really old. That's Boots trying to get the other dog to play with him. So that's got to be replaced. I'll go back City Electrical on the way back. Another thing that's happened is my Armeg torque screwdriver. So that is the handle for it. Annoyingly, well, oh, there we go. One of the bits for that has broken. It's snapped off at the end. I don't know if you can see that, but I'm going to take that back to City Electrical now and try and get that replaced. I don't know how long the warranty is, but they might have a record of when I bought it. They tend to, which is one of the great things of using City Electrical. They have such a good team, and they don't grumble when you want things looked up like that. They don't grumble, but they are more expensive than your next supplier, but the team is fantastic, and it's like having another team, in your office. I mean, I hate office work so much, like most tradesmen, I guess, that it's just great to have people, you know, on side you can ring up and rely on with all their IT backup and everything. It's a huge fillip to operations. So this I'm going to finally remember to take back, and I'll back the van out, get it ready to leave.